Now that the Bears have released renderings of a new stadium and development on the Arlington Park property, many are expecting the deal to buy the land to be completed very soon.
Yeah, the team is going to hold a public meeting on its plans tomorrow night. But before then, we are hearing from one of the top experts on professional stadium deals. And Mike Lowe is joining us now with more on that. Mike?
Yeah, we spoke with Mark Gannis, who is one of the foremost experts in the field of professional stadium development. Now, it was 50 years ago that the Bears moved to Soldier Field, and since then there have been 10 U.S. presidents, 12 coaches for the Bears, and numerous attempts to find a new stadium.
It was May of 1971, and Papa Bear George Halas sent a letter to Bears season ticket holders saying, quote, "It's official, the Bears are moving to Soldier Field. That change should be considered a temporary one, as we are confident that a new stadium in Chicago will be completed in the next 4 years."
Why is this happening now?
Well, it's happening now for two main reasons. First, the land that is a perfect site became available. That was very important. The second is that the NFL and the economics of the NFL are very different than they used to be.
Even though Soldier Field is the oldest and the smallest stadium in the NFL, its prominent lakefront location speaks to the importance of the Bears to the city. It is dedicated to the U.S. soldier with games in the elements, and it plays into the mythology of the Bears as a tough, gritty team.
What is lost when the Bears leave the city of Chicago, and particularly that very prominent location?
Well, the biggest thing that will be lost are the views from the Goodyear blimp, frankly. I mean, it's a postcard for Chicago. The notion that the Bears are, I think the mayor used the term, abandoning Chicago, it's a total fallacy. The Bears aren't abandoning Chicago. 10 teams in the NFL already play in cities that aren't where their moniker of the team is.
According to Forbes, the Bears are worth $5.8 billion, making the franchise the fifth most valuable in the NFL. If they were to own their own stadium, a venue that could host a Super Bowl, a Final Four, and major concerts, it could be a source of year-round revenue for the team.
Bears fans who go to games at Soldier Field really don't know what they're missing. When you then go to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, you come back and say, why don't we have that in arguably the best football market in the country?
The renderings released this week are short on architectural detail, but the team says it wants a domed stadium and a separate development that could create an entertainment and residential district on the old Arlington Park property.
If they build a domed stadium, they could attract national and international events in the building in Arlington Heights. Chicago, Chicagoland, and the state of Illinois would benefit from that.
The Bears have also released a number of projections saying the development would create thousands of jobs, generate billions of dollars in economic impact for the region, and millions of dollars in annual tax revenue. The team also says it would not ask for public taxpayer money for the stadium, but would seek taxpayer help for the rest of the development.
If they build a dome stadium, they could attract national and international events in the building in Arlington Heights. Chicago, Chicagoland, and the state of Illinois would benefit from that. That's a very good argument to make when looking for some public funding for not the stadium, but for the remainder of the project.
51 years after the letter that announced a move to Soldier Field, the Bears released another open letter this week.
Well, they emphasized the word "if" multiple times in their statement, and even put it in italics in the statement so that people wouldn't miss that little two-letter word. But what it also tells me is that the scope of the project is open for discussion and negotiation.
And Arlington Heights will have studies of potential economic and traffic impacts done. And it's important to note that the Bears have not yet purchased the land. They currently have an agreement to purchase the land. Now, Gannis said with the exit of team president Ted Phillips after this year, the Bears would be wise to name a team executive to oversee football operations and then one to solely oversee this stadium project.
What a time we are in, and we appreciate the analysis, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you.